I know it, but other people might not.
Okay, my name is Paula. I'm from Michigan in the USA and living in Chicago at the time. I'm here for 8 weeks.
Okay, don't worry about me. I'm just fiddling with things.
I'm here for 8 weeks for a course study, and I'll be leaving in about 4 weeks now. That's about it as far as my background. Do you want anything more about my background?
No, that's
okay.
fine. No.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, all I really want to do is you tell me what you told me on last Sunday. We can go over it again.
Okay. We were talking last Sunday about different seeing UFOs or seeing anything kind of particular strange that maybe other people haven't seen, or just occurrences that have been kind of different. And from what I can remember, my experience happened 10 years ago, and so it's not as clear in my mind as it probably was back then. But you brought it up, and then it kind of sparked me thinking about it again. What I saw was that it was about probably 1 to 2 in the morning, and I was on a bicycle. It was in the summertime, I believe in July, and I was traveling on the bicycle at night, coming home through neighborhoods that had a lot of landscaping, a lot of trees. It was very, very dark. I remember that, and that's why I was racing home very fast, because I was a bit scared. And at one point, when I was coming around a curve, I think it was, I saw, I first heard actually, I heard a humming sound that sounded like something that was very kind of a deep, hollow sound, but actually sounded like it was spinning, so it kind of made a humming sound and effect. Mm-hmm. And I looked up and I saw a very bright, like almost, I would say like a whitish yellow color object, or actually it was almost like a light, but it was very much in the shape of a kind of a dome shape.
Like a semicircle, you mean?
It was, let me think, it was more like flatter on the top. You could tell it was circular, spherical, you know. Mm-hmm. But at the bottom it had like a big dip, you know, so it was like, it's hard to explain, let me think. Okay, so it was like flat on the top. Mm-hmm. You could tell it was like a saucery or a circly look, and then at the bottom it kind of had this protrusion that was also a circle, but it dipped down in the center of it. And it was, in comparison to the rest of the background, it was quite large, and it seemed to be close to me, like in terms of distance. It seemed like it wasn't that far away, but that could have been because it appeared to be so big. I wasn't quite sure. But I didn't quite believe what I had saw, so I didn't really kind of think about it or believe it at the time, but then it didn't go away. So I don't know if how long I had saw it for. Probably at the most maybe 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. It was there.
Very brief then.
Very brief. I'm sure it was very brief, but it seemed like it was probably 5 minutes. And I just kind of stopped. I remember just looking at it and stopping, and not really being scared or excited or anything, but just kind of captivated by it. I didn't really think either way. Yeah. Until then all of a sudden I looked again, and then it was like gone, like just disappeared.
Well, like you sort of blinked twice and looked away and looked back, or what?
Yeah, I think I looked down at the ground, mm-hmm. like kind of like, oh, I'm not seeing this, and then I looked back up and it was gone. Yeah. And it wasn't like it kind of slowly came out of distance, it just kind of disappeared.
Had the sound gone as well?
The sound, actually, now that I think about it, the sound did fade away.
Yeah.
The object was gone, but the sound faded away. So the sound did, now that I do think of it, yeah, the sound did fade away.
Right. Did the sound change pitch or anything, or was it sort of just like get quieter?
It still sounded that humming kind of like, I wish I could think about. It was almost like the sound of when you have a disc on a string and you whirl it around in a circle, that kind of sound it makes, okay, but even deeper, like a real deep sound like that. So as it faded off, it was the same sound, but it just got quieter and quieter and quieter.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Right, I think that's...
Is that it? That's
So-
all I can remember.
So this happened, what, 10 years ago, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And you're you're in Chicago then?
That was in Michigan.
That was in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In Lansing.
Mm-hmm. And what was it, about 1 o'clock in the morning or something?
It was, yeah, I would guess 1 o'clock.
Right. So, I mean, what had you been doing before then? You were at a friend's house?
I was at a girlfriend's house, and I remember it because I was very preoccupied with getting home as quickly as I could
Yeah.
because I was late. I was supposed to be home like at
Yeah.
12 or something, and I was like 1 or 1:30. And because the fact I was on a bike, and my mom was real keen about me being on a bike
Yeah.
at 1:30 in the morning, going through neighborhood, so.
I see. What was it? It was an okay neighborhood, it just dark.
Oh yeah, it was a
Yeah.
very nice neighborhood. That's what I mean. It was very kind of
Yeah.
a wooded, lots of foliage, and but it had like lots of winding rows and trees and up hills and things like that.
And so it was light above the trees, or do you see it through the trees?
It was actually, the sky was very, very dark, but there was street lights, and but I thought clear as day was clearly out above the trees. So, but it had trees like kind of there around it. But
Yeah, so you looked through the branches and stuff to see it.
actually, it wasn't. I didn't look through branches. It was quite clearly right in my
Right, so
vision.
along the road or something, yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
I mean, you've got no way of, sort of, say, estimating how large it was or anything.
It was large. It was pretty large, just because I think it appeared to me like it was so close.
Mm-hmm.
But I think actually, in actuality, I think that was more or less the largeness of it.
Yeah. So you thought, at the time you thought it was really close to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, now you think it must have been like a lot further away, but very large.
Yeah.
All right. You couldn't see, you actually seen like any detail on the
No.
thing at all? It was just like a light, whitish.
It was like a white yellowish.
Yellowish.
And because and also when I think about it too, it moved very almost still, like it was moving so it was moving so quick. I mean, as far as it was moving around, but it was actually moving so unbelievably, like still. It was like so in sync as far as with itself. It wasn't like it was like moving. It was kind of there, and it was just moving and staying in the same place.
So that was it like sort of when it was stationary? Was it sort of moving or rotating or something? Do you know?
It was going in a circle, definitely going and spinning
like
in a
rotating
circle.
on an axis of some sort.
But no, it wasn't on an accident. It was like there, but I could tell it was spinning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so it did actually, as you were watching it, did it sort of change position in the sky, or
Mm-mm.
just stay totally stationary?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so you say what happens? You looked at the ground, and then when you looked back, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And did you sort of look to see where it had gone to? Or
Yeah, I did, and it
couldn't
wasn't
see it
anywhere.
All right, but you could hear the noise
I
trailing on.
could hear the noise, right?